Hello everybody, welcome back to Sports Card Connections, and it's time for our East Asia show that we talked about. We're going to look at cards from some of the Eastern Asia nations. We're going to start off in one you might not expect to have cards from, and that is Singapore. Singapore has a soccer league, and there have been at least two sets, one by Bandai, the big Japanese toy company. I don't have any of those, but I have one. These are actually credit card style, and there we go again with the focus. There we go. They were made by Taiwan company called Cardwan. I happen to know the owner. This is one of the only things he ever did that at least was legitimately licensed. He was known for unlicensed, counterfeit, and a bunch of other nonsense. Long out of business, I'm glad to report. Anyways, if you ever find any of these laying around somewhere, they're not that common. The Bandai ones I've never seen, but Singapore did have a league. This is the Gombak United Bulls. You can see. Cardwan simply means card king in Chinese, but he was anything but. Anyways, he did these. I have a few samples only. Something definitely unusual. Not expecting. 5 or 6 teams. Of course, when your entire country is just a city, there's not that room for that much. That many franchises. So there's a few of those. Something absolutely unusual. Singapore soccer. And then we'll move on now to mainland China. Now, I have very little from there, just a little. It's all soccer. We'll take a look. Upper Deck did a set in 2001. Here's one card from it. Get that focus adjusted. There we go. And see how my translation on this is Bin Zheng, forward for Luang Xin. So Upper Deck did the Chinese Super League. This is my only sample. You may find these at a show sometime. I've only ever seen some on eBay once. They have much nicer cards, frankly, being made now. Here's a back. So you see it's CHNC card. And they're quite thick. Really high quality. And this is Augusto. So you get like the Brazilians with their one word names. Masika here for which club? Okay, I'm sure it's right in front of me. Yeah, the logos will tell you the teams. I'm really not familiar with the Chinese Super League teams, quite frankly. And these, I only have these few, but there is a lot of stuff out there. It's recent as far as China because their league isn't that old. Then they have like league logo cards. Dalian Yifang. Okay, it's 2019, as you can see. A little bit about the club history on the back. So these Chinese cards, in fact, most of the players, 1, 2, 3, 4. Of the 5 players they have here are actually foreigners, non-Chinese. And, of course, they're open to bringing over a lot of foreigners to try and, build up the level of their league. Europeans and Africans that are at a higher skill level. So, a lot of them do play in China. Backs are very colorful, as you can see. Cards will easily tell the number in English. But that's what I have going in China. Not all that much. Hope to expand, get some more in the future. Their league is pretty high level, and a lot of older players play there. So let's switch to the bone of contention over there, because we're not going to do politics between China and Taiwan. Now, Taiwan, their baseball league is nearly destroyed itself with scandals, but it's managed to bounce back. So we'll take a look at some different sets. Baseball is the main thing in Taiwan by far, but they did have a basketball league. Now, you won't be seeing much basketball on this channel because, frankly, I don't like basketball. Pure and simple. I don't like the game, never have. But anyways, they did have a league. And Upper Deck, they did a set. There was 4 teams. The league is now defunct. But, so there we have Chi Chu Chung, the number 1 card of Yulan. Chi Song of the Elephants, second team. Li Bin Wang of Mars. And finally, the 4th club. This is Cheng Kui Chen. I hope I read that. And this is the Panthers, or was it the Rockets? I don't remember. You can see a logo. Anyways, that was the 4th team. So there's 4 teams. It had a brief, rise of popularity, but it wasn't really sustainable. Basketball is, just lower on the horizon in Taiwan. The cards have stats. There's about 135 or so in the set. And these occasionally will turn up. They're an unusual set to collect. They're also an autographed parallel. They're gold foil, facsimile autographed parallels. That's the front and back look. So that'll get you basketball in Taiwan. An unusual offering there, but baseball is the main thing there. Now we'll take a look at a few sets from baseball in Taiwan. The CPBL, the Chinese Professional Baseball League, started play in 1991. And they contracted with the previously mentioned Card One to make some plastic cards. And this was the first year's design. That's the Mercury Tigers. Jungbong Lee is the pitcher's name. So you added stats. Again, these are plastic, like credit cards. And then they would have stats. So that's the first year. The second year looked like this. This is Al Jones, former pitcher of the White Sox. He's with the Brother Elephants there. The owner of the Elephants founded the CPBL. And so the backs have this grayish green. These turn up more frequently than the first year. Taiwan always embraced a lot of foreign players to help them get off the ground. This is Milt Harper, American minor leaguer. Unfortunately, he committed suicide by jumping out a tall building's window, like 12th or 13th story. He was on drugs. And very sad tale. Here he is with the President Lions. He did that while playing in Taiwan. I think he was in, as I recall, the Cleveland Indians organization before he went to Taiwan. These are the 1992s. Now, they start out with only 4 teams: Lions, Elephants, Tigers, and Dragons. This is the Weichuan Dragons. And that's it for the plastic cards. Now, other companies came along with traditional American-sized card. This is former Twins outfielder Darryl Brown with the Weichuan Dragons. And these cards, this is a really nice set. They're from 1993. There's the Lions. And I have about 40 or 50 of this set. Genhui Gun. And he is a light hitting infielder, if you can see the batting averages. Sorry, outfielder. Many team-issued sets exist, especially early in the league's history. This one's from the Elephants. This is Chip Duncan. If you recall from my Australia video, card of him with the Parramatta Patriots. Well, here he is with the Brother Elephants in Taiwan. Previous year's stats, and this was just an elephant set. Same thing for the President Lions, or Uni-President Lions, depends on how they want to write it. They wear the green, orange, and white. This came with facsimile autographs. And the backs like that. Here it is. Yao Wah Dung, outfielder for the Lions. Literally throwing the bat at the ball to bunt. So this set also included a subset of a player known as Genji Kaku, which is a Japanese version of his name, which is Yuan Su Kuo. He, as I mentioned to a person who asked me a question, did I have any TTM addresses for Taiwanese players that have been on their Little League champion teams? Well, this is the guy. He was on the very first Taiwanese Little League champion. He was the big star. He went on to a long career in Japan with the Chunichi Dragons. He was included in this set. A lot of pictures of him with the Dragons, even, you know, those type of off-the-field pictures, suit and tie, stuff like that. But he returned to Taiwan for his last year or so before he retired. And here he is when he was with the Dragons. So he's included in here. A company called Pro Card came along with really nice cards, thick cardboard. This is 1996. This is Don Lemon. Get a little better focus there. Don Lemon was with the Marlins, pitcher. Here he is with the Lions. And so you get the Pro Card logo up here in foil. On the back you have stats, a second picture, card number, etc. I got a few Americans here. Here is Don August, Milwaukee Brewers pitcher. This is with the Sinone Bulls. There's been a lot of franchises in and out over there. The Bulls are long gone, but they wore green and yellow. Also gone are the China Times Eagles. They're gone because of what nearly destroyed the league, which was a gigantic gambling scandal. And actually, the whole team was banned for life except for one foreign player, which I think was Josias Manzanillo, or his brother Rafael. Had nothing to do with it, but everybody else got tossed for life. And the Eagles, China Times, which is a newspaper, they withdrew their sponsorship. Qingguo Chen here, and outfielder. So the Eagles are gone. It's quite a history they have over there with their league. Kun Hung Bai, again, that's the Bulls. So Pro Card returned in 1997. A slightly altered design. And this is longtime Major League pitcher Pascual Perez. His brother Dario also pitched in Taiwan. Of course, his other Major League brothers were Carlos and Melito. He was with the Eagles. I don't think he was one of the band. I think he was already gone before the ban came for the gambling scandal. They had lots of American-style subsets. Tyson Chang had a long, long career there. One of their best players ever. Here he is with the Dragons. So this is 1997. We'll see him in a minute much later. And they use the American terminology like rookie and things like that. The box in the background, you can see that says 2012. Well, that's this set I'm about to show. One card from each team. This set is great if you can find it, especially if you don't read Chinese, because the players' names are also in English on the front. So you have the team name in the pennant, their name in Chinese, uniform number, then their name in English. Position down here. So this is the Bulls. Back has complete lifetime stats. Very, very nice set. So by this time, the Mercury Tigers were gone, and Lamigo Monkeys were one of the teams. Here's a Monkeys card. They're now gone. Franchises keep switching around. This is 10 years ago, so 2012. The Lions, the now called Uni-President rather than just President Lions. This is Tyson Chang. So many years later, we saw his 1997 rookie card. Here he is in 2012. And, of course, his lifetime stats by that time had gotten pretty long. Very popular player. And finally, the Elephants. And you see, the cards are very color coordinated, as you can tell by the team's uniforms. So those were the 4 teams going in 2012. They keep having changes. But that's what it was going then. So Taiwan, you go after the set, you're going to get a lot of foreign players. You're going to get a lot of color, but not a lot of teams. However, they're very interesting. The gambling scandal, of course, was terrible. As one Chinese friend I know said, nobody could tell if the games were real or not for a while. So they had to clean it up and kind of got going again. It's not quite returned to its level of popularity it was because organized crime had gotten involved, but it came back and the league is still viable. We will now switch locations, and we are going to go to a country that took the exact opposite approach than Taiwan did. Taiwan says, let's do lots of foreigners, let's get lots of players over here. South Korea, no. So let's take a look at South Korea. The KBO, the Korean Baseball Organization, began in 1982, and no foreigners, no foreign players were allowed for a long time. Here's a card, as we start with South Korea, from the very first year for the OB Bears. This is Chelson Park, a.k.a. Sonny Park, who was a minor league player with the Milwaukee Brewers. He went home to Korea with the start of the league, signed with the Bears, and here he is. There to see this first year, I just mentioned 1982, that's all they had, and it's blank because they hadn't started it yet. So this was a team issue, I believe. I haven't actually seen any others, but I've heard that they're out there. And Sonny Park was a longtime star pitcher in the KBO. I don't think he got past Double-A in American minor leagues. He might have made it to Triple-A. So at first you had these type of issues, team issues, put Sonny Park here. The LG Twins, which stands for Lucky Gold Star, which you may have an appliance in your house or something that's Lucky Gold Star. The Twins, which are named after a building in Seoul, the Twin Towers. And so when LG bought the team, they switched it to the Twins. These are 1992s, a nice team set. Hunji Choi, outfielder for the Twins, so you see you get the stats. Very nice cards, very colorful. And they did another twin set, a team set in 1993. A little different design, but here you go. And, of course, this is the name up here, player's name, uniform number, stats, Chanyup Row, outfielder. One of the difficulties many people have with Korean is the fact that there's only about 200 surnames or so in the language. So it can get a little tough. A lot of Kim, Park, and Lee. And to a Western ears, it can sound funny to, there's nothing to distinguish. Now, a company called Teleka did sets, and these turn up in all kinds of ways and numbering schemes. This is Dong Yeol's son, and his nickname is literally Mr. Korea Pro Baseball. He is the Cy Young of Korea, the all-time great pitcher. He did actually finish in Japan. Most of this, I don't know if you can see here, but like lots of MVP awards, All-Stars, league leaders, you name it, all that stuff is down there saying what he had done. His winning percentage was off the wall. He was just incredible. When he finally went and pitched in Japan for a couple years, he was just as a late inning reliever by that time. But he is the all-time superstar. He was here with the Hete Tigers, which they've changed sponsorships. They're now the Kia Tigers. So these cards are actually a kind of plastic. They came with a backing card with the logo on it and like photo slits, you know, the two corners would be in it. And that's the way they were sold, hanging on racks. I know this because I found the racks hanging there on my trip there. That's where I got them. The designs vary widely within the same set. This is also Dong Yel-sun. The numbering system is bizarre. Who knows? This is like 94, number 518, supposedly. The back is the same as the other card. His uniform number is 18 at the top. So they're all over the place as far as designs go. We'll put sun there. As you can see, these are all the same set. Another, just you know, it's like whatever the graphics guy felt like doing. Jungbong Lee also played in Japan after Korea. So there he is, also with the Tigers. And this is he as well. And you notice yet another completely different design. So literally, you would have no clue that these are the same set or anything. From 1994-95, they had a mixed years as well. Teleka is the maker. We also see horizontal. This is from the Hanwha Eagles. And a rather unusual design. Sangun Lee pitcher. And just to show it's every team, is there's the Eagles again, but again a totally different look. This is their star outfielder, Jang Hoon Chang. Infielder. He was a big hitter. But again, the design change. Keep going through the sets. Lotte Giants. Totally different look as well. You get to the Samsung Lions. Korea has 8 teams at that time. This is Mansu Lee, who was a big power hitting catcher and became a coach with the Chicago White Sox later on. But this is Lee. For a while, he was the all-time home run hitter in Korea. And again, the Lions cards have a different look. Not that much on the back. Here's Sonny Park again with the Bears. So we saw him in 1982. This is like 13 years later. Here he is, 1995. And then we had the Pacific Dolphins. They're long gone, but they had a very colorful uniform. Again, another design change. So these cards really, I mean, they are all over the place as far as look goes. I didn't grab any twins from this set, but all the twins cards are headshots. Head and shoulders at the most. And so it's a totally different look. Now we'll take a look at Lotte Gum, the owner of the Lotte Giants, and in Japan, the Lotte Orions, who are now the Chiba Lotte Marines. Okay, they issued a set in 1991. There's Sonny Park again. They're slightly oversized from top set, a little taller. You can see from the there, I knew that was going to happen. See from the upper deck card, they're a little wider and a little taller. And this is a 50-card set, and it did not include all the teams. So you got Sonny Park, Cholson Park. That's the back. And they came in boxes. You got them in a little box set. Again with the Bears. Pitcher Tong Gu. The Eagles had a uniform change before. They were black and orange. They became red and white. That's very common in Korea. Jungbong Lee, another Eagles pitcher. These do show up on eBay on occasion. Maybe a military person brought them back, and you might see them. They usually don't know what they are. Jungbong Lee Raiders. The Raiders aren't in there anymore. That team became, I believe, the Unicorns, which I think is now the Dino. It's just, Korea has more changes. It's just unbelievable how the teams come and go. Manhu Kim. Then there's this company. I can't seem to find anybody who knows who did this. These are perforated. And, but observe. This is really trippy. That's 2 cards in one. There's the card, and then there's this clear, like, supposed to give it a 3D look thing, which personally I don't like, but nevertheless you could line them up, you know, and that was, I guess, the idea. So that's the only one I have like that. Definitely a different look to it. Here's Junho Chun of the Unicorns. The wrapper or anything else I've ever found on them does not identify a manufacturer. I've seen a couple of online listings. Yeah, now Hyundai Unicorns, formerly. Oh, the guy was writing, he formerly played for Lotte Giants, now with the Unicorns. That came from a Korean collector. Nobody seems to know who made them. Every online thing I found, they don't know. And then you have the current sets. So here we have the Nexon Heroes. This is 2014. And it can be used for a game like Match Attacks or something like that. Different versions. This is a shiny. At least you got the player's name on the front. That's the Lotte Giants. Second base. But what you may have noticed you didn't see was any non-Korean players. When they finally allowed foreign players to come to Korea, the interesting thing is the Korean card companies don't print them. You won't find any. So actually, there's an American collector, I think he's in Mississippi or Alabama, who has made cards of the foreign players. And he does 1 set a year. And I have the sets. He started in 2015. And through 2019 I have. So here's former Philly Darren Ruff with the Samsung Lions. His sets are very nice. See, this is actually the newest. I'm starting newest going backward. He does a great job, but you see it's number 10 out of 20. There's only 20 sets. He only made 20 sets. So a friend of mine is in contact with him, and he comes up with these. It's the only way you'll see the foreign players. Here's Scott Van Slyke, former Dodgers player with the Bears. That's the 2018s. 2017, former Dodgers, Mets, etc., James Loney. Now, why the Korean companies are not printing the foreign players, I don't know. I've heard no explanation for it. But these are out there. This is out of 25. It's not going to focus. There we go. A little better. Merrill Kelly of the SK Wyverns. Not giving the greatest focus. There we go. Okay, so you see on these, out of 20. He did a really good job to only do 20. And Eric Thames with the NC Dinos. So that's our look at Eastern Asia. Korea, Singapore, Taiwan, China. It's baseball and soccer heavy, but there's a lot more older cards available in Korea back to the early 80s. Well, maybe not a lot more. I've seen some samples of other sets. It's a place to explore because there could be a lot more things to turn up. Taiwan has other sets, almost all from the 90s, whereas China, who knows? It's their soccer league is only really getting going in the last 20 plus years, so they've only how many their cards exist? Not quite sure. And like I said, Taiwan's basketball is gone, but nevertheless, there was this set. There may have been another one. it's interesting because you're in a part of a world where, yes, they do cards, but, you know, there's not the long-standing tradition like there is in Europe or North America, and yet you can find some very interesting things. So I hope you enjoyed that. Next time, we go to Japan. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you then. Bye.